Hello everyone. I would like to give you a few more tips for using InDesign. I forgot to mention in the first video that the native file format, when you save a file out, the little extension on the end will be .indd. Those are the files that you will be uploading to Brightspace for both of your assignments, for the exercises and the final project. The first thing I would like to talk to you about is overset text. This is something you have to be careful about when you look and you're like, I had text up here, and where did it go? On your screen right here, you'll see where it says no errors. That is what is called a pre-flight panel, but we can talk more about that later. It's just if you have made your box too small or something of that nature where all your text can't be shown, you'll get this error right here. And if you see right here this little red square with a red plus in it, that's letting you know there's more information in there and it's not able to be revealed because the shape it's in is too small. A quick way to see what all is in there is if you get where the arrows have, you have a double arrow up and down where you hover over the little square on the box and double click it, it will expand and it will show you everything that's within that box. That said, you can also connect shapes together if you don't want to have to cut and paste into several different shapes. So say I wanted to put my information in different boxes, and this is something that will probably come in more handy on the resume project, but just so you know, and you can refer back to this later. So you have a box over here, but you want to create another one over here. You use the rectangle frame tool. F is the shortcut. Create a new frame. Get your selection tool, and then when you go over to this shape, you click that red plus arrow and then you click within the other shape and it automatically puts the text into another shape. This is where, say you're publishing essays, you're a graphic designer, or you work with one, you see where they're publishing essays, things of that nature where you want to have pictures and you want to have shapes in different places of text. This is one way of doing that, is by doing this is called a text thread. Another way of doing that is by having a text wrap. And what this would be is, so say we'll pretend this is a call-out box that has a quote in it. And let's make that look more like a call-out. Well, bold this. Okay, so say you have, this is a call-out box. And over here, we will have a frame with body text. So if you remember how I told you can fill with placeholder text, it will fill that space. But I want this text to wrap around this quote. So what I'll do is there is under Window Text Wrap, which I have my little icon over here. There's different styles you can do. You can do it above and below or just around. I usually go with the wrap around. And the text, say the quote is going to be on the right-hand side. So I want to cushion it, basically, is what you're doing, is building a cushion around this text. You select the wrap around the bounding box, and then you can select how far around the bounding box on each side. And if you notice, this little buffer is being built around the text, and you can slide it within your text, and it will push it around to where it will flow around the box. You can use that with images or text boxes or shapes or all manner of things. Another tool you might use is you want to find a certain character to use. That would be what you would call a glyph. So let's see, I believe that is under, yes, under Window, Type and Tables, Glyphs. And whatever font you've chosen, you can look and you can see every little special character. So say that you're writing something for math and you're looking for those special characters for, say, algebra shapes, or just you're learning a different language that has glyphs, such as the little hyphens, but I don't know what they're called on top. But Spanish uses a lot of them, Italian, those little marks on the top. This is where you would find those characters. And let's see, spell check. We also do spell check within InDesign. under Edit, Spelling, and I keep the dynamic spelling checked all the time. And that way, as you can see, this is you'll see there's a lot of misspelled words, of course, because it's gibberish, it's placeholder text. So if you keep the dynamic spelling going, then just watch for those little red squiggly lines, just like in a lot of other programs. Two more things to show you. One is grouping, which this would be a good example here. If I have this box and this image, I don't want to accidentally move this over and change my design. Command Z to undo if you've forgotten. So what I can do is I can click and I can drag both of these boxes and say Object Group. We did this in Illustrator as well. And if you want to get to a box without ungrouping it, you can just double click on it and you'll be able to do more in that. And as you can see, where I added this little piece in here, I now have an error. So remember what I showed you is if you're trying to get rid of your errors, you can double click and it'll show you everything that was in there. But when you click back on it again, it's still grouped, and then you can move it around as you need to. The last thing is converting text to outlines. So say you have text you want to change in some way. I'm just going to use my first, not there, over here. Okay, that's right, they're linked together. That's why it's doing that. Let me fix that real quick. Okay. So say I have my name and I want to change something about it. So for example, let me just put this in a new frame so that we are not getting confused. Never mind. It's not wanting me to draw a new frame. All right, here we go. You can go to Type, Create Outlines, and you see how the box shrunk on that. Now, to enlarge or shrink in InDesign for it to keep its proportions, you have to hold down the Command or Control and Shift as you drag. You have to use Command, Shift, and then click and drag, or Control Shift, click and drag, depending on if you're on Mac or PC. So now my name is a shape, so I can use my direct selection tool. If you notice now it has little points, like when you draw with your pen, and you can click off of it, and you can just click this one, say this one point. Say I want to do that. Obviously, this is not something you would do all the time, but if you want to create like a sun design around a certain graphic design that you're trying to build an image into a word, this would be how you do it. You'll probably not be doing it for this class, but this is just a tool that you need to learn. And again, that is under Type, Create Outlines. There, it's grayed out. Okay, I think that will be it for today. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding your exercises as we move forward. Things that are relevant to, say, your resume design. We'll get into master pages and all that on the next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.